October hasn't always been a nice month for Northwestern football, but they had no trouble today, beating the Minnesota Golden Gophers 27-0 at Ryan Field. Quarterback Clayton Thorson continued to show improvement, while the defense recorded its first Big Ten shutout in 20 years. It was clear the team had a lot of fun today, picking up their first Big Ten win of the season. Next week, they head to Michigan to look to become 6-0 for the first time since the Kennedy administration. For NNN Sports, I'm Jacob Murphy. Many Wildcat fans may have been nervous after starting quarterback Clayton Thorson left the game, but solid work by redshirt senior Zach Oliver secured Northwestern's 7th win of the year. Our own Sam Brief has more on the Louisiana native. Oliver had his moment in the sun, but his 15 minutes look like they may be up. Earlier this week, Coach Fitzgerald announced Clayton Thorson is expected to start this Saturday's game against Purdue. For the first time since 1996, Northwestern is 8-2, defeating the Purdue Boilermakers 21-14 at Ryan Field. Behind a great passing game and a solid defense, Purdue kept the game close, but they had no answer for Clayton Thorson's legs late in the fourth quarter. Another bright spot for the Cats, Justin Jackson passed the 1,000-yard mark for the second straight year. Next week they head to Madison, looking to win at Camp Randall for the first time in 15 years. For NNN Sports, I'm Jacob Murphy. Welcome back. Last season ended in heartbreak for Northwestern women's basketball, giving up a 13-point lead to Arkansas in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
But up until that point, the year had been magical. The team won more than 20 games for the first time since 1995, and that tourney bid, the first in 18 years.
With 4 starters returning for the season and ranked 19 in the preseason AP poll, the team took to the court in exhibition play against Seton Hill on Sunday. Albeit in exhibition play, the Wildcats were quite impressive in the win. The team shot over 53% in the game while limiting the Griffins to 21% from the floor. The Cats scored 20 second-chance points and 34 points off turnovers. All but one Wildcat on the roster made a basket in the game, with 6 players scoring at least 7 points. Cats will lace them up for real this Sunday against Howard, but first they reflected on where they are as the season begins. For the 7th consecutive year, the Northwestern men's basketball team started their season 1-0, but tonight the win wasn't pretty. After an abysmal first half offensively, it was the big man Alex Ola who came out to play in the second half, leading the Cats to victory. The Wildcats also received a stellar contribution from freshman point guard Bryant McIntosh, who scored 12 points and had no turnovers in 35 minutes of play. His play is a silver lining for the Cats as they get ready to head to Mexico. From Welsh Ryan Arena, I'm Jacob Murphy, NNN Sports. Last year, Northwestern softball reached the NCAA regional final for the 6th time in the last 10 seasons, capping what was a successful 35-18 season. But like any college team, they lost major contributors, including 4 from last season's starting 9, and they began 2015 facing some of the biggest names in collegiate softball. In Tempe, Arizona, the Wildcats had a perfect start, winning both matchups on Friday. They handled the Tar Heels with a big 5th inning and then dismantled UC Santa Barbara in a run-rule 13-4 win. Andrea DePrima knocked in 4 runs and the victory. Saturday and Sunday, though, would be far less successful. It began with an absolute heartbreaker. Down to their final strike, Texas hit a 2-run walk-off homer to win. Later that day, the Cats were blown out by an impressive 2nd-ranked Oregon team. Looking to salvage a winning record, the Cats gave Cal a 5-run lead early and were unable to come back, putting their record at 2-3 to start the year. Head coach Kate Drohan and infielder Andrea Filler spoke about how they think the weekend went and what's in store for a team Drohan called the deepest it's ever been. Welcome back to Sports Night. Coming at you now is a collection of the best plays from this week. And if you didn't know, we do this every week.
We do, and we're going to go quickly into number 3.
Perhaps the most memorable moment from Chris Collins' first season with Northwestern was their upset victory in Madison last January. Drew Crawford, a name we haven't uttered in a while, put up 30 points in the surprising win. On Saturday, the Cats looked to repeat history at the Kohl Center, but the 5th-ranked Badgers proved too much. Let's look at the highlights. The Badgers picked up their 9th conference win with ease. Sam Decker and Bronson Caning led all scorers with 16 points each. Wisconsin out-rebounded the Cats 39-25. And as you can see, Northwestern continued to struggle offensively, shooting just under 40% from the field. Alex Ola and Bryant McIntosh paced the Wildcat attack, which proved to be lacking against the Badger team that's now off to one of its best starts in school history. He's no stranger to this studio. Ben Gorin from WNR Sports joins me now to break down the season that was for Northwestern softball. Now, Ben, it was certainly a disappointing end to the season, being swept in the first weekend of the NCAAs. In your opinion, what specifically went wrong for the Cats this weekend?
The team that showed up to South Bend was just so injured.
They bounced back nicely from a 3-9 start to finish the year at 28-23 overall. Knowing that, would you consider the season a success for Kate Drohan?
I don't think it is, and it feels really unfair to say that it's not a success.
Next year, this team loses some major contributors, including Andrea DePrima and Olivia Deer. What do you see to be the biggest challenge for this team next season?
I think they have to replace a lot of power.
Well, Ben, thanks as always for stopping by. You can check out his work at WRsports.com.